Hi there, and welcome back to the Luddy Careers channel. My name is Jacob, and I'm a peer advisor and case interviewer here at Luddy. Today, we're renewing our series on case interview brain teasers. These questions are designed to be a quick exercise to get you started on the thinking you may need to get through a case interview. First, I'm going to walk through a few myths, common mistakes, and types of cases prior to the case question of the week. Let's get started. The first misconception or myth is that most cases are structured the same way. The structure can really vary by company, the style of the case, and even the interviewer. A lot of them can be either candidate or interviewer led. The scenario can be pretty broad between general, business, or tech. There's one right answer or approach to the case. It's simply not true. There are normally many approaches and solutions to the possibility of what the solution is. And so the interviewer just wants to see what your thought process is and how you got to that solution. The interviewer expects you to get the right answer. They expect a thoughtful, structured response. They know there's no exact right answer. They may have an answer in their mind, but just because you have something that may be different doesn't mean it's wrong. And it's just really how you get to that approach, how you get to that final solution. A couple of the common mistakes are not listening, not understanding objective, and moving too quickly. Some of these kind of go hand in hand because if you're not listening, most likely you're not understanding the objective. You're gonna move too quick. You're gonna move to an answer that's too quick, that's unstructured. So all those really kind of go hand in hand. And I will say that failing to talk through your logic may be one of the more important ones, because if the interviewer doesn't understand how you got to that solution, they're probably not going to think that what you did was with any kind of structure or thought process. So talking through everything is pretty important overall. And the different types of cases: there's great unknown, there's Pareto facts, market sizing, and brain teasers. So the great unknowns, probably one of the more common ones, provide very little information. They're essentially testing your ability to ask clarifying questions, to probe for additional details. They want to see your thought process on, we know we haven't given you a lot of information. What are you going to do with that? You can ask more questions. You can try and make a guess or a solution based on what you have. What are you going to do with it? Pareto facts. They provide a very significant amount of information. A lot of it's going to be pretty useless, but what they want you to do is go through it, and based on what the problem is, figure out what's important and what's not. Like I said, a lot of what's going to be made random numbers, information that doesn't make any sense or doesn't apply to what's going on. They're trying to overwhelm you with all that information to really get through what is necessary. Market sizing. They're just testing your analytic abilities, essentially going through with, are good with your numbers. Can you make general guesstimations? Brain teasers, essentially just see how you think on your feet. They may be tied together with market sizing, like we have today for our mock case interview question of the week. And with that, here is the mock case interview question of the week. What is the market size of regular disposable non-electric toothbrushes in the United States? I suggest going ahead and pausing the video to kind of work this through on yourself, by yourself, and see how you kind of come with your answer. And then you can see my thought process and how I got to my guesstimation, my solution, or what I think the answer is. So welcome back. Thank you for pausing that. And now we're going over the questions that I thought about when I was going through this myself. First thing I want to know is, what is the U.S. population? Super important for a market size for the U.S. Percentage population brush their teeth. Unfortunately, not everybody brushes their teeth, so that's not going to be 100%. So kind of had to figure out how many people brush their teeth on average. Percentage population uses regular toothbrushes, because people most likely use regular or electric. Just kind of varies. So you should kind of find out what the regular one is, and that's what they're asking for. How many toothbrushes each person goes through in a year. Most people go through more than one, so it's just kind of important to see what the number is for that, make guesstimation on that, and cost per toothbrush. It's just one of those, you just got to guess on that one. Kind of varies. So And my guesstimates, like I said, I keep saying guessing because that's all it is. I don't know the exact number, and that's how it's going to be during an interview. You may not know the exact number. Toothbrushes is a super random thing, and that may be something they may throw at you. So my guesstimates, U.S. population, I guess about 320 million or so. Make an easy round number. Percentage of population that brushes their teeth, I guessed about 70%. A little more than maybe there is, maybe less. I'm not sure. Percentage of population of regular toothbrushes, maybe went a little high. I went 90. So I don't know if people that use electric toothbrushes, but I just went 90. And just like I said, it's my guess. So how many toothbrushes each person goes through in a year? I guess 3, about every 3 to 4 months, give or take. So I guess about 30, just keep it easy. Cost for toothbrush, I put $4. Maybe that's a little high, maybe that's a little low. They all kind of vary. So I just went with the average, I think, what I think the average is. And the way that I got to my final answer, I had to calculate it out a little bit. I'll go through my thought process on how I really rounded to numbers and how I got to that final part. So I did the number of people times the percent that brush their teeth. So 320 million people times 70%. So the way that I like to work through this is I like to break this up into easy numbers. 320 million, 320 times 70% is not really that easy of a number. So what I did was I took 10% and multiplied that times 3 to find the number of people that don't brush their teeth and then subtract that from the people that do. So I did 320 times 10% is 32. So I did multiply that times 3, which is 96. So there's about 100 people that don't brush, 100 million people that don't brush their teeth, give or take. And so I just round up to 100. There's 96, I just round to 100. So took 100 million off 320, which I got to the 220 million people. Next part was number of people that brush their teeth and that use regular toothbrushes. I did the exact same thing. I just took 10% of 220 and then subtracted that. Find the number of people that take off the number of people that use electric toothbrushes. So I did 220 million times 10%, which is about 22. And then took away 220 minus 22, which is 198. And then I just rounded up 200. Easy number, easy to quantify, easy to look at, easy to think about. So I did 220 million people times the number of toothbrushes they use each year. So easy to think about. 220 million people times 3 toothbrushes each year, 600 million toothbrushes. Then I did the number of toothbrushes times the cost of each toothbrush. So 600 million toothbrushes are bought each year at $4 per toothbrush. And that got me to about a $2.4 billion market size. Another thing I forgot to mention is market size, unless you're told otherwise, think about it in terms of a dollar amount, essentially what their share of the market is. And with that, that is our case interview question of the week. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. Come back next week for another case interview question of the week. In the meantime, follow us on Luddy on Instagram at Luddy_careers. And if you want more practice, send more about a handshake. We have appointments ranging from resume reviews to mock interviews for case, technical, behavioral, and anything else in between. And with that, have a great rest of your week.